Good afternoon, Bookfighters. It is April 12th, which is a Tuesday, which is why I'm here. And I'm sorry that there was no video. YouTube obviously has a personal vendetta against me. And then the weekend was my best friend's birthday, and we spent the whole weekend together, so that's why there was no video. I'm sorry, I apologize. But I am going to talk about the book that I was going to talk about in that video because it's really important, and the book that I read this past week isn't quite as important. So the book that I read last week, or the week before last, rather, was The Giver by Lois Lowry. I have not read this book since elementary school. I read it when I was about 8 or 9, and I'm so glad that I read it again, because being that young reading it, there are lots of things that I did remember about it, but there were also a lot of things that kind of went over my head, as far as just, deeper meaning and stuff. So reading it again was kind of emotional because those things that I did remember suddenly had new depth. And if you've never read The Giver, which you should, it's probably one of the best books ever written. I would definitely put it up there with Harry Potter. Like, that's the quality, and just the message that it put, it's perfection. Like, it's like the perfect kid's book, even though it's not really a kid's book. Reading it again, I realized that, and I was like, why was this in our library? Why is this a children's book? That's weird. Because there are a lot of things in it that aren't very kid-friendly. Euthanasia, for one. That's kind of not something that you would normally put into an elementary schooler's happy fun reading time. But if you've never read it, basically what it is kind of the preemptive young adult dystopian future novel. Before the Hunger Games, before, whatever, all the other, how dystopian novels have kind of become like the trend in YA, this is the beginning. This is, the end-all be-all of dystopian YA. And basically the main character, Jonas, lives in this world, which is supposedly the future of our world, but very, very different. He lives, and they call it the community. The only way I can really think to explain it to you if you've never read the book is with another kind of weird reference. If you've ever seen the episode of Fairly Odd Parents where Timmy wishes that everyone was the same, and the wish makes everything black and white and all the houses are like cookie cutter, and then everybody turns into these distinguishing the same blobs. They're like these gray blobs. That's what the community is like. That's what this dystopian world is like. Everything is black and white, everything except that they're not blobs, they're actually people, but everything is black and white. There's no different skin tones, everyone has the same skin tone, and everything is in black and white. They don't look the same, but, black and white, you get the picture. Okay, so that's what this world is. And then Jonas, when he turns 12, when all the children his age turn 12, they get assigned jobs in this big ceremony, and Jonas gets assigned to be the new receiver of memory. So he goes to the old receiver who was supposed to train him, and then you find out that the old receiver, who then becomes the giver, hence the title of the book, is the carrier of all of the memories from the before the sameness, which is what they call it. So he has all the memories of snow. It doesn't snow there because snow is bad for crops, so they eliminate snow. He has memories of sunshine, which they don't have. It's very creepy. Very, very creepy world idea of not knowing. There's one specific part that really got me when I was reading it. and Jonas begins to see the color red, and he doesn't know what it is because they don't know what colors are. So he tells the giver that he's beginning to see these strange things, and the giver, who, because he has all the memories, can see color, tells Jonas that that's what he's seeing. He's seeing the color red, and then he gives Jonas more memories of the color red, and then he's explaining colors to him, and then he tells Jonas to lie down, and he tells him, you know, now lie down, I'm going to give you the memory of a rainbow. And there was just something about that was so, I don't know, it made me really emotional for some reason when I read it. Just the idea of not knowing, you know, what a rainbow is, those simple pleasures, not knowing what sunshine feels like, not knowing, you know, what snow feels like, not knowing anything other than just not even knowing what color shirt you're wearing. It was mind-boggling, really. And then when it was really emotional to read as I was older. I don't remember it being that bad when I was younger. I remember being, you know, really affected by it, but not necessarily like tear-inducing like it was this time. Especially the parts where they talk about the memories of love. The giver gives Jonas these memories of love, and it's a scene of Christmas with parents and kids and grandparents, which they don't have. They don't have grandparents. His parents aren't even really his parents. They have people are assigned to be birth mothers, and then parents apply for a child, and they're just given a child who already has a name, and then they raise him, and the parents are matched up by the Council of Elders. It's very, very creepy. And yeah, so just he goes after seeing these memories of love, he goes back to his parents and he asks his parents, "Do you love me?" And his parents chastise him for using the wrong word, and they tell him that word is outdated and inappropriate, and they're like, you know, if you'd asked us, do we enjoy your company, the answer is yes. Are we proud of your achievements? The answer is yes. Do you understand the difference? And that's the first time Jonas lies to his parents. He tells them that yes, he does, but how do you understand that you're the people that you are supposed to love don't know what that is. They don't understand the feeling of love. Their emotions have no depth because they have no memory, nothing to connect them with. So it's it's a very interesting book. It's very creepy. Definitely up there with the Hunger Games as far as like squick factor. Just like that uneasy feeling, and the ideas of you know, this seemingly utopian society is just it's an excellent book. If you've never read The Giver, you absolutely should. It is excellent. So yeah, and then I read this book, Heroes, Gods, and Monsters of the Greek Myths by Bernard Evslin. I don't know. There's too many consonants in his name. I got this on sale because one of the Borders by me is closing, so it was like $3 or something. And it's definitely not the best mythology book that I've read. The stories are very oversimplified. And there's not a big variety as far as who is included in the stories. But you know, for beginners, if you're not as huge of a mythology buff as I am, if you're just looking for kind of a quick explanation, then yeah, this is a good place to start, really. This week I'm going to read A Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams, which is a play. I'm looking forward to it. I almost fell. That's what just happened. But it is a play, but I want to read a play this week, so that's what's going to happen. There were questions. Sarah reminded me in our Bookfighters chat last night that she had asked a couple of questions in her video that she accidentally posted to her personal channel. And I think there was more than one, but I only remember one, where she asked if we were going to do another book exchange thing like we did for our Secret Santa, and that if we still want to, then we should probably get on that. And I agree. I definitely do want to do it again, and if we do want to do it again, we should probably do that fairly soon. So yeah, definitely. Katie asked a question about if there were any characters from media that we'd ever related to that we kind of like didn't expect to relate to so much. And I thought about it, and I'm sure there are more, but the most recent one I could think of is definitely Blaine from Glee. You know, having never been a, you know, young teenage gay boy in Ohio, I really do kind of relate to him on a kind of emotional, like personal level, just and his like romantic awkwardness, and just kind of his obliviousness, and yeah, I really, when I read the kind of the like analysis that people put through for his character and think about it myself, I really do relate to Blaine a lot more than I thought I ever would. So that's the only one I can think of, like, kind of right off the top of my head. I'm sure there are plenty more. I mean, you know, but that's the one that I thought of right away. So, and then Dan asked if we had a wand, and I'm so jealous of your wand, because I've wanted one of those forever, ever since I saw them on ThinkGeek, and I'm so unbelievably jealous. You don't even know. You're gonna have to like hide it, or I might show up at your house one day and steal it from you. Like, not even kidding. I've wanted one forever. I do have a wand, and it is right here. It's not a fancy one from online. It's not like an official one. It's one that I made myself. And from, you know, we bought. They're kind of pre-made at Ren Fair, and then I did some other stuff with it, you know, cleaned it up a little bit. But yeah, this is the wand that I take with me when I do Harry Potter cosplay. My robes are over there somewhere. So, but yeah, so this is my wand. I do have like the measurements and all the you know, like 13 inches, you know, unicorn hair, whatever. I do have those, but I don't remember them right off the top of my head. I have it all written down somewhere from one night when I got bored. So yeah, that's my wand. I have a question for you guys, because I was thinking about it when I read The Giver. And it might seem like a weird question. If you don't want to answer it right away, that's cool. Even I don't really have an answer for you, like right now. I'm gonna have to think about it a little more, so that's fine. But I'm kind of curious. The whole premise of The Giver is giving memories, and they talk about how you know, memories aren't really anything unless, you know, you have someone to share them with. So if you could pick one memory of yours, good, bad, any kind of memory, whatever memory you could think of, that you would want everybody in the world to have, what memory would it be? I told you, it's a weird question, but I'm curious. Even I don't have an answer for you right now. I'll work on that, and I will let you know next week. So yeah, that's my question, and that's the end of the video. So I will see Sarah tomorrow and Bookfighters fairly well.